The phone tapping's pretty awesome. Not for them.
But usually the communists are being witch hunted. In this
Yeah.
case, they are doing the witch hunting.
Yeah, it's a weird flip.
Yeah. But that's kind of why I said earlier, nobody's good in this story. Because, like, I don't really support witch hunts and book banning. And
I mean, that's fair.
That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents. That's so fucked up presents.
you guys, you are listening to That's So Fucked Up, a comedy podcast about cults, crime, and other things that make you say, ugh, that's so fucked up. Or, you know, however you would say it. And this is That's So Fucked Up Presents, which is a spin-off series of That's So Fucked Up, where each month we talk about a different kooky subject. This is Sinister Sects. Not sex.
Oh, God.
Sects.
It's a killer.
The CTS.
Sinister
The CTS.
Sinister Six. You know, you heard what I said. That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It's about, you know, groups, aka sects, that are, well, sinister. You're like, oh, are they? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you guys all about it today. I am your host of That's So Fucked Up and That's So Fucked Up Presents, Ashley Love Richards. And today I am joined by two of my friends who are also indie podcasters. Y'all need to go show them some love. We all need help. Okay, everybody knows my favorite murder and crime junkie and small town who's what, I don't know. When I see the recommendations, I'm like, where are my homies and me at? Like everybody, I'm not saying those aren't great podcasts. Well, Slime Hunky
you know.
can go.
Yeah.
But MFM was Karen and Georgia were my inspirations. So love forever to that show. But I'm so fucking ADHD, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm introducing
It's all over the place already.
You guys have podcasts. Why don't you introduce yourselves in alphabetical order of name?
So that'd be you.
Okay.
Caitlyn, that's you.
I was like, I think C comes before L. Yes, I know
It
that.
does, at least in the English alphabet, yes.
Where am I?
I'm Caitlyn from P&W Haunts and Homicides. My lovely co-host Cassie is not joining us today, but that's because she mostly prefers to speak about the spooky stuff. So
I would argue this is pretty spooky, but not in the traditional sense.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, welcome, Caitlyn from PNW Haunts and Homicides. Where can people find you and your social media and whatnot?
All of the things. We have a website and a link tree, and the link tree links to our website. It's impressive stuff.
It's like the Matrix.
I made it, so it kind of is. It's a little bit Inception-y. It's P&W Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out.
Okay, there we go. Okay, nice. And Lindsay, hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm Lindsay, and I'm one of the hosts of Ye Olde Crime, which is a show that I do with my sister Madison, where we discuss funny, strange, and lesser-known crimes that took place pre-1900. And you can find us on all of the things. And our website is yeoldecrimepodcast.com, and the old has an E at the end of it. So that's how you know that we're real old school, because it's got an E.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you guys are listening. Hopefully you like the show. I understand that some of you are hate listening. That's fine if that's your prerogative. You just don't have to leave a review about it. Okay. Anywho.
Also, just know that by hate listening, you are supporting the show. Those downloads do count towards revenue. So thank you.
So thank you. And I obviously struck enough of a chord that, you know, I affected you in some way. So I guess, I don't know.
Thanks.
You guys
Yeah.
know. You get it. So you guys, this is the story that you didn't know that you needed to hear, but you do. So buckle up, because today we're talking about Falun Gong and Shen-yun.
Oh boy.
There
China
it is.
before communism.
Oh,
It's coming to town. Have you guys ever gotten a mailer?
yes.
No.
I get emails.
Maybe because I'm so far out of the cities that I don't get the mailer. But I bet if I did live in the cities, I would get one.
You know, it's an incredible journey of incredible odds, according to the peeps at Shen-yun. And yeah, you guys have probably seen on your YouTube ads or on a billboard or anywhere on Earth, it's majestic looking Chinese woman. She's in a very beautiful, colorful gown, and she's in a ballet pose. And I feel like you guys know what I'm talking about. And oh my God, they are. As of this recording, they'll be in Colorado tomorrow.
Oh boy.
I could go for the low price of $80 to $160.
Wow.
What a steal.
This bitch is a little bit broke, and that's out of my price range. Also, I don't want to really get paid to get a bunch of propaganda thrown at me. So, you guys, let's get into what the heck is this? Okay. So usually, like I said, it's advertised with bright, colorful posters and signs in commercial major cities. That's why you might be missing out, Lindsay. Sorry.
Well, I'm very close to Minneapolis, St. Paul, so...
Okay, well, I don't know if they go there, but they go fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
So they are a non-profit performing arts company headquartered in Deer Park, New York. They claim that they are reviving 5,000 years of civilization, although this cult was started in the 90s. But okay.
All right.
And like I said, they claim that it's China before communism, although it started after communism It's, you know what? I tell you, it's a bunch of BOLOGNA is what it is. Baloney. If Oscar Mayer,
Mine's first name is Oscar.
if Oscar Mayer had a last name, it'd be fucking Shen-yun, because this is horse shit. Okay.
It's like the longest name ever.
Okay. And I read a article in I believe it was a New Yorker article by Gia Tolentino. And she said she went to 2 performances.
That's a lot.
I think the second one was for journalistic purposes. The first one she might have got, I read that article an hour ago, but I've looked at a lot of things and I don't remember. So I don't remember the exact circumstances. Okay, you guys. But she says, quote, "The hosts started talking about a spiritual discipline called Falun Dafa, which is also Falun Gong, and then introduced a dance in which a beautiful young follower of Falun Dafa was kidnapped and imprisoned by communists, lit on fire." I actually added that from another account that I heard. I don't know if it happened in her show, but it does in other shows apparently. And had her organs harvested because according...
After being burnt? Because that doesn't seem like
maybe
it
it was only in one show because they realized it didn't really make sense. It was, it's not everybody sees the same things, which we'll hear from a YouTube user. But she says that atheism and evolution are deadly ideas. Modern trends destroy what makes us human, he's saying. At the end of the song, the row of older white people sitting behind me clapped fervently. In the final dance number, a group of Falun Dafa followers who wore blue and yellow and clutched books of religious teachings battled for space in a public square with corrupt youth. Their corruption was evident because they were wearing black, looking at their cell phones, and in the case of 2 men, holding hands.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Ugh, you guys, they have some pretty problematic views.
Yeah.
We'll just
Somebody get my pearls.
one of their big things is that the Chinese Communist Party is like kidnapping cult members and harvesting their organs, which is why that's a part of all of their Shen-yun performances.
Propaganda.
Wowzers.
One YouTube user.
I want it to be like the intestines are like pulled out, like glorious ribbons that are like, just like fluttering all over
I
the
bet
place.
it is though.
Make it really dramatic and beautiful.
If I could get like a free pass and I could bring a spy pen in, I would do that for you guys. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
One YouTube user said, the best part of this show is watching all the people who brought their kids to the ballet without knowing what Shen-yun is about. My favorite was when a mother of three chose to awkwardly shuffle her 3 tots out of the theater after the main character had her eyes gouged out by the CCP police.
Oh my God. That is troubling.
But this is like a beautiful show about the persecution of the
Is it?
Falun Gong people that, started their group in the 90s. But,
If you say so.
Yeah.
a lot of cults and coercive religions are super big on we're the persecuted ones.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Everybody's being persecuted for their beliefs. Listen, if you walk into a group and they're like, hey, FYIZs, everybody outside of this is going to say this is shenanigans, but don't believe them, okay? If they're telling you that ahead of time, it's red flag. Okay, right, guys? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as of recording this in 2024, 8 large performing ensembles tour internationally. Each ensemble includes around 40 performers, although I feel like somewhere else I read 80, so, a lot.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it depends on the size of the venue. That's how they determine how big of the production it is.
Several dozen.
Yeah.
We'll go with that, huh? They tour for 6 months every year. So, yeah, it's like that's
Sheebus.
like half of always.
Yeah. Half of always. That's
It's so
Yeah.
much.
Half of always. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I'm going to start using that more often when it applies. Performances include dance and symphonic music, acrobatics and tumbling and fucking ballet and classical Chinese dances with Yi and Mao and Tibetan and Mongolian influences also included, while a full Western orchestra plays, but Chinese instruments are also included because, they have to.
yeah.
It'd be weird if they didn't.
It's just all horns and like jazz.
It just seems like
Like flutes.
It just seems like such a mishmash of different styles and types of performance art. It's like it's designed to explicitly keep you like sort of confused, Like there's too much going on in front of me that I can't really think about the messaging.
It's also very bright lights, like Technicolor
This is my actual nightmare.
in your face. Like I said, I would go for you. That should be my slogan if I would run for anything. I would go for you.
I would go for you.
So, the songs, like, I've talked about this quite a bit lately. If you go to any mega church or MLM event or the fucking movies, dude, music is supposed to invoke emotions in
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So their songs are meant to invoke spiritual and religious themes related directly to the Falun Gong faith. But that's like supposed to be like a little bit like definitely in your face, but kind of on the DL. Like I said, keep you a little confused, You're like,
Yeah. I am confused because I keep thinking of Fallon. When you say Falun Gong, I'm thinking.
I know. Sorry, Fallon.
It's too close. I'm just picturing her as a cult leader now. It's fine.
She is a Chinese cult leader, a male Chinese cult leader. That's not my co-host, you guys. It's not. That's not our Fallon. That's not the one we know. Okay.
I'm just trying to picture what sort of music would be playing as the main character has having their eyes gouged out.
I would imagine intense.
Yeah.
Something intense.
Yeah. Something with drums.
Yeah.
Probably percussion.
Or violin.
Lindsay,
Because
is
it
that
has
even
like a
question?
stabbing sort of a sound to it already, don't you think?
Don't get too crazy with me here, but I could see drums and violin.
Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
She's mastered
That's going to get you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So their performances are supposed to tell stories based on Chinese history and legends, and also tell the story of Falun Gong today. In the 2010 production, 2 of the scenes in the performance showed the persecution and murder of followers in present-day China. There was the jailing of a protester and the beating to death of a mother. I would be shocked, I'd say, if I went and there wasn't a trigger warning for that, you know? Whoa, I thought this was ballet.
Warning. Play will include eye gouging, people being immolated,
Disembowelment.
people being beaten to death, disembowelment.
But listen, the disemboweling will look like festive ribbons.
It's beautiful.
It'll be gorgeous. It's going to be beautifully done. Okay. Very tasteful. All right. That's probably, honestly, that's something of the conversation. The scenes in performances include communist thugs who are beating innocent followers. And the followers give the communist thugs their book, and whoa, like magic, it reforms them. They are communist thugs no more. They're ready to follow who, you ask? Well, his name is Li Hongzhi, and I'm going to tell you about this guy. So he founded Falun Gong in the 90s, and what it translates to is Dharma wheel work. To be able to do his stuff, he has to like implant a wheel, like a Dharma wheel into you, but don't worry, it can be done remotely. So
Oh, great.
travel not required.
Sounds invasive.
So don't worry, you guys.
Perfect.
And actually, Shen-yun was founded by a group of Falun Gong followers in 2006 with the purpose of reviving Chinese culture and traditions from the time before the Chinese Revolution. I don't know enough about history to comment too deeply. Lindsay, I feel like you know about history.
I do a little bit.
Have you heard of
Yes.
the Chinese Revolution and or when that was?
No, I'm Googling it. 1911 is when it started.
Okay, there was also one in 1949.
There's kind of a lot of them. So, or if it's the communist revolution.
What's a little bit rough is like the bad guys in their story are bad guys. The Chinese Communist Party is not known for being like super cool.
They're not super chill.
But
Mm-mm.
there is a story about 5 Falun Gong followers who apparently went to Tiananmen Square and set themselves on fire. But the only people that were able to report the news on that was heavily gatekept. It was only reported by Chinese media company run by the Communist Party. So I didn't even include it because I was like, there's no good guy in the story. It's like Falun Gong's talking shit about, the CCP, and they're talking shit on each other, but they're both bad. So, I mean, anywho. So it is a relatively new religious movement, if you want to use a nice word for a cult, founded in the early 90s. And like I said, its headquarters in Deer Park, New York. They have a compound called Dragon Springs, which is 427 acres. And Li Hongzhi and hundreds of other followers live near the compound. Near or on?
Either way.
That's a lot of space to not
Well,
live there.
members of Shen-yun live and rehearse in the compound. The compound also has schools, temples, and an orphanage, and a private arts college where the Shen-yun performers fucking
Presumably study.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is called the Fei Tian College, and the daily life on the compound. And no big surprise here, daily life on the compound is tightly controlled. Falun Gong followers, they view Li Hongzhi as a deity-like figure. He's just a normal dude, you guys. I guess most cult leaders are, though,
To some degree.
He just doesn't look very holy or trustworthy to me.
I mean, have you seen Rasputin?
Rah, Rasputin. It's a great song.
It is a good
I
song.
was wondering how long it would take for this episode to get musical.
25 minutes. That's a while. So he first introduced, I'm going to call it FG because I can't keep saying that like all episode. It's too much. So he first introduced FG on May 13th, 1992 in Changchun, Jilin province. In September of 92, May, June, July, August. So I'll do it for you guys. 5 months later, Falun Gong was admitted as a branch of Qigong under the administration of China Qigong Scientific Research Society, which was state-run. And Qigong, if you guys don't know, combines body posture, movement, breathing, and meditation, and it's supposed to be important for health, spirituality, and cultivate and balance the mythical life force called Qi, which is like your life force. Li was a Qigong master and traveled throughout China to teach the practice. Originally, FG was embraced by the Chinese government. They were looking to promote Chinese culture, improve public morality, and lower healthcare costs. They're like, you guys, you can just fucking like Qigong your way into health. Okay, we're not paying. We're not footing the fucking bill. Okay?
How does that work with like a broken leg? Just asking for a friend.
Should have Qigonged it out ahead of time, you know? You wouldn't be breaking
okay.
legs if you were Qigong strong. In 1995, the Chinese government wanted FG to tie itself to the Communist Party, and he was approached by officials from the Ministry of Public Health and the Chinese National Sports Committee, and after he declined the offer, the CQRS, or the China Qigong Scientific Research Society, if you guys needed a reminder, which I did.
It's a mouthful.
It's a lot. After he declined the offer, they mandated that all Qigong denominations establish ties to the Communist Party. And again, Li refused. Oh, you guys, fun fact. I wonder if that's like a thing. I'm going to look into that later. Not right now since we're mid-recording, but I wonder if there's still ties, you know. In March of 96, FG officially withdrew from the Qigong that group and began to operate outside of official state sanctions. They're like, it's our party and we'll Qigong how we fucking want to. So after denial from other government organizations, FG fell outside the protections being tied to the state party afforded. This departure from state-run organizations led to authorities' attempt to control the growth and influence of FG and other Qigong groups. And in the mid-90s, state-run media publishing articles were critical of Qigong. Initially, FG was exempt from criticism, but lost protection following their 96 withdrawal from the China Qigong Scientific Research Society.
Yeah.
The society. We'll just call it that.
The society.
They withdrew from the Qigong Society. That was a no-no. So now they're under harsh scrutiny too. It's rough. It's rough for the FGs right now. In June of 96, the Guangming Daily, a state-run newspaper, published an article describing Falun, which is another one of their fucking nicknames or whatever, as feudal superstition. In June of 96, the Guangming Daily, a state-run newspaper, published an article describing the group as feudal superstition, calling on Chinese publishers not to print, quote, pseudoscientific books of the swindlers. The next month, in July of 96, the Central Propaganda Department banned all publication of FG books. And this led to the state-run Buddhist Association of China urging Buddhists to not take up the practice.
Oh, damn. Even the Buddhists, they were like, no.
Yeah. I maybe they were tempted because of the qigong and,
The old rituals. I don't know.
yeah, the Buddhists, they said, don't do it. And by 1998, FG had successfully organized several protests against reports of heretical teaching. So the government resorted to having phone lines tapped, homes raided, and FG exercise locations raided by public security agents to find evidence of heretical teachings.
So it was essentially a witch hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very McCarthy.
The phone tapping's pretty awesome. Not for them.
But usually the communists are being witch hunted. In this
Yeah.
case, they are doing the witch hunting.
Yeah, it's a weird flip.
Yeah. But that's kind of why I said earlier, nobody's good in this story. Because, I don't really support witch hunts and book banning. And,
I mean, that's fair.
ew. When I think of the word witch hunts,
It's just not my fave.
I don't like it. And we're gonna go there later, you guys. So get ready for that. You're wondering what, how, why? Yeah, no, I know it's gonna get wild. So throughout the years of uncertainty for the group in China, Hongzhi was abroad teaching his practice in other countries, and he obtained a permanent residence in the U.S. in 1998. By the next year, in 99, estimates of 70 million people were practicing FG in China.
What?
Holy shit.
Cuckoo bananas.
Actually, though.
That's a lot of people.
So
I think we need a minute.
and it's because listen, what was done to them is super uncool, but who they are now and what they represent and the propaganda that they spread is also very uncool. So that's one of those things in life where you're like, you know what? Both things, not cool. So on July 20th, 1999, thousands of Falun Gong practitioners were abducted and detained by security forces on claims that they were leaders. And 2 days later, the Police's Republic of China Ministry of Civil Affairs. Why? Why are the names of these places so long? Those guys outlawed the FG Research Society, citing engagement in illegal activities, advocating superstition, which...
How are they advocating superstition if they're just talking about the past?
Listen, okay, we're going to get to that. They're spreading fallacies, inciting and creating disturbances, jeopardizing social stability, which sounds very controlling to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously it is. This is my favorite, though. And hoodwinking people.
Oh, we love a good
How dare
hoodwinking.
they?
I can't even say it.
How dare.
They are hoodwinking the heck out of people. And that's a no for them. Dogs, okay? The Ministry of Public Security issued a paper forbidding the practice of FG possessing teachings, displaying symbols, or protesting against the ban. By October of 99, legislation was passed to outlaw heterodox religions, and that refers to any opinions or doctrines that differ with an official or orthodox position.
So anything that wasn't the main religion.
Yeah, everybody just think like us.
Is Buddhism the main religion?
Buddhism?
I don't know.
That would have been my guess.
Sha.
Yeah,
it is, which is, I guess, why they were saying, hey, y'all, don't you Buddhists gang up with them. Because in 2021, 18.2% of the country's total population were Buddhists, compared to 5.1% Christian, which is much lower than the United States. But interestingly, get this, you guys, because I guess things have kind of changed, because followers of folk religions comprise 21.9% of the population. And here it sounds like they were like, yeah, no, no heterodoxy religions. So it sounds like, I guess maybe they've lightened up since 99, or I don't know. You guys, look, don't quote me on Chinese politics, okay? Like, I didn't go that fucking deep. I'm not a journalist or a politician. Okay.
I am Jon Snow. I know nothing.
Hundreds of thousands of FG followers are estimated to have been imprisoned. And those being held are allegedly subjected to forced labor, torture, psychiatric abuse, and many other coercive methods of thought reform.
Great.
Don't like that.
We don't support that at
Not
all.
a fan.
The U.S. Department of State and the Congressional Executive Commission on China estimate that half of China's re-education through labor camp population is made up of FG followers.
Did you say half?
Half?
Yeah. You know how you learn a lot through hard labor? You re-education, I'm putting that in heavy quotes, the re-education through labor. That, you know, it's like, well, we'll just work the fucking brainwashing out of you.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't.
Which
No
I don't
thanks.
support people being in destructive cults, but I also don't support communist government regimes that torture people. So, but this is like very uncool. So, I mean, look, like they were persecuted, but also so were a lot of different religious people at different times. And, you know, lots of people are being persecuted for other reasons today, like race and gender and silly things like that. So, you know what? Moving on, we got FG ground to cover, ladies. Not a ton more, but I mean, obviously, what are they up to today? We're getting to that. So the number of followers estimated to have been killed varies widely, but investigative journalist Ethan Gutman estimates that 65,000 followers were killed for their organs from 2000 to 2008. And while this sounds super duper fucking crazy, and obviously Chinese officials have denied any allegations of organ harvesting, according to pretty extensive research by human rights lawyers and lawmakers and journalists. Basically, they say that the organ harvesting trade is real and well and alive. It's apparently one of the largest organ transplant programs in the world.
I just linked you to a research paper from an international scientist or researcher that he's Swiss. So I feel like if you needed a more neutral source, you probably aren't going to find one. And yeah, they're basically saying like, yeah, it sounds pretty crazy, but also it's true.
Yeah.
Well, as a matter of culture and custom, according to Wikipedia, China has extremely low rates of voluntary organ donation. Between 2003 and 2009, only 130 people volunteered to be organ donors.
In all of China?
So, where are they?
Holy shit.
So is it something that's against their religion, do you think? Like,
I don't
whatever
know,
religion
guys.
they practice?
This is going deeper than I realized initially. Okay, so you guys, this is from the Human Rights Commission.house.gov. There is wide alleged major harvesting and trafficking of forcibly acquired organs. Quote, available information indicates that Falun Gong practitioners have been the primary victims of the cruel practice, and there are now allegations that other religious and ethnic minorities are also victims, according to cotton.senate.gov. So according to Tom Cotton, senator for Arkansas, you guys listen, I didn't do any more fucking research. So besides, okay. He said that experts estimate that the human organ trafficking industry in China is worth $1 billion a year and is fueled by harvesting organs from China's 1.5 million concentration camp inmates. So China appears to be the primary perpetrator, but is not the only offender obviously, other places are also doing that. And in May of 2008, the UN, the United Nations, requested Chinese authorities to respond to allegations of where they're getting this sudden increase of organs available in the year 2000. Like, why do y'all have so many extras all of a sudden, So look, you guys, it's not good. And unfortunately, cults really thrive in places of political unrest because they're like, this is fucked and we have the solution. And I mean, yeah, obviously they, along with other Chinese minorities and shit, are being persecuted. And yeah, you guys, that took a darker turn than I realized, we started doing some on the fly Googling and
it's
holy
not
shit.
hard to find. Clearly there's several different sources that want people to be aware that this is a real issue. It's more than a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's a known thing.
It's
That's
wowza, right, you guys? Okay. So, FG teachings are based entirely around Li Hongzhi. Followers believe he is a godlike figure who can levitate, walk through walls, and see into the future. His teachings are ultra-conservative and reject modern science, art, and medicine. In some cases, Li has claimed complete recovery of illness, such as cancer, through FG practice. And unfortunately, a lot of FG followers, like followers of other religions and cults that deny the use of modern medicine, a lot of followers have died from easily preventable deaths. It's like, oh, here, take a fucking antibiotics, those things that saved lives when they got invented. They're like, no, dude, just qigong harder. He also denounces homosexuality and feminism and claims that, quote, the biggest cause of society's change today is that people no longer believe in Orthodox religion. They go to church, but they no longer believe in God. They feel free to do anything. The second reason is that since the beginning of this century, aliens have begun to invade the human mind and its ideology and culture. So we got aliens now too, you guys.
Great. Cassie should really be here.
You're like, she really missed out. She didn't even know.
Yeah. Who knew?
It's got everything.
Yeah, it really does. Smorgasbord, if you will.
Lee says that he is a being, I mean, it sounds like you're a fucking alien, dude, who has come to save humankind from destruction due to rampant evil. He has said, quote, you can think of me as a human being, though he claims at age 8, he began having supernatural powers like being able to see through a wall or into a human body. So he's a being, he's a human being, just like an extra one, because he's like,
you guys are right here, you're mid, and I'm just
you're mid being and I'm fully being.
Yeah. Wow. I've never been insulted on so many levels all at once.
As the kids would say.
Yeah.
And in so many cults, followers are instructed to downplay his controversial teachings to outsiders. They're like, no, it's not that crazy. That Scientology, you got to get tens of thousands of dollars in before they start revealing the real kooky shit. And then you're like, sunk cost fallacy.
Exactly. You're in too deep.
I've already put a lot of money and time into this. Yeah.
I don't want to look stupid in front of my friends.
Yeah.
Can't back out now.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Guess this is my life now.
Lee is very critical of modern medicine and evolution.
So just science? Should we just say science?
He hates science.
Yeah.
3 things this guy hates are science, freedom,
medicine,
and yeah, I feel like that
evolution
goes under science.
Science, women, and freedom.
Oh, he hates women. He really hates homosexuals and people of mixed ethnicities as well.
He's super.
The list of people that he's not a fan of it goes deep.
Who has that kind of time?
This guy.
Yeah.
He just levitates.
A lot of work, honestly. Yeah.
It really does.
It's funny, though, because the 3 stated principles of the teachings are forbearance, compassion, and truthfulness. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what forbearance means.
I was going to say, I don't know what Sally Mae has to do with this, but like she should see her way out.
Who is that? Oh, I don't get it.
It's student loans.
Oh.
It's student loans. Forbearance is a term for, it's a student loan thing. I'm sure it means other things elsewhere, but that's immediately what I thought. I was
Well,
like, why
my
are we
student
talking
loans
about
didn't
student
get-
loans?
Forbeared, whatever. I don't know. Basically, I had to keep them.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. Anyways, essentially, FG's exercise consists of 4 standing poses and 1 sitting meditation. So it's a lot of variety, spice of life. And like these are important, but not as much as the moral elevation. And that's because you're like getting to be your best self, ascending spirituality through what's called moral rectitude. And it's about karma and like getting good karma and trying to not get bad karma, which is, defined by their rules.
And now you see how the Buddhists were maybe kind of slowly drawn in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use buzzwords
Yeah.
like karma,
Yep. They're like, oh, we know about that.
We're like, hey, I like that shit.
We love
That's-
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all about that karma.
I put that shit on everything.
I always say, like, in the United States, they'll use like faith as a buzzword because 80% of most Americans are Christian, according to like pretty recent stats. So, or at least like believe in like a Christian like God of some sort. So, you throw in words like faith and it's like, oh, that's something I'm into.
Yeah. Well, and faith is general enough that it can apply to any number of Judeo-Christian religious beliefs.
Yeah, it's just, and it's not necessarily totally a biblical word, but like, isn't it? Right?
I mean, it's been co-opted. Like if it wasn't theirs, they've certainly
I just
claimed
see it paired with a cross a lot when it's on t-shirts, So, elevation of moral character is achieved when one's life is aligned with truth, compassion, and tolerance, while also giving up desires and negative thoughts and behaviors. Negative behaviors include jealousy, robbery, theft, fighting, killing, deception, desire, greed, profit, lust. Like.
Sounds real familiar.
The big ones.
Nothing new there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ultimate goal is to gain supernatural skills.
Oh, sure.
Like levitating?
Yeah.
Seeing through
Well-
walls? X-ray vision?
Divine sight, which I would guess is like the X-ray vision. I don't know about levitating.
Listen, if levitating isn't on the table, not interested.
If I can teleport, which is
Ooh.
that's not listed here, but I'm on board if that's
I'd like to change my answer.
like, I don't, they say the journey's the best part, but
Nah.
is it?
If I'm already late, I'd rather just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe you me, I'm late.
Yeah.
For what? When?
Oh, this girl?
For
Yes.
half of always.
Yeah.
For
For
half
half
of
of always. The ratio's starting to swing the other way for like 60 to 70% of always.
Yeah, for me, it's teleportation or nothing, or I'm out. But you can only gain these powers through moral practice, and you're not supposed to pursue them because it's like a distraction. So while the goal is to get them, like, don't.
Oh, it's a fuckboy situation. They're like,
Yeah.
I want you to want me, but like, don't want me too hard.
But like, go do Shen-yun instead.
Yeah. Gross.
Do the dance one, not the transportation one.
Yeah. You got to get there on your own. So followers are encouraged to participate in the secular world and must maintain jobs and families' lives, that's kind of wild. They're not supposed to distance themselves from society or governmental laws.
Aren't they afraid people will realize it's insane?
They love it. They love it. They're expected to not hit back when attacked or not talk back when insulted. Use of alcohol and tobacco products is not allowed, as it is seen to impact health and mental state. I don't know, you guys. Like, sounds okay.
They sound a little too straight edge for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you can't kill for anything living. Boo. But you're not required to be vegetarian. So, like, I don't know. I guess you can buy meat from the store. You just can't kill it yourself or something, which I think is actually really backwards.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
In terms of relationships and sexuality, followers are expected to marry and have families, but any sort of sexual desire or lust is not permitted. It's just like, it's baby making only, reproductive services only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do it just to do it.
Yeah. And anything outside of obviously monogamous heterosexual marriage, like, and sexual, it's very
Not
bad.
okay.
So this is a bummer. Warning, bummer. Hongzi teaches that homosexuality makes one unworthy of being human, creates bad karma, and is comparable to organized crime, which the last one,
How do you figure?
it's all very rude and fucked up. He also teaches that, quote, disgusting homosexuality shows the dirty, abnormal psychology of the gay who has lost his ability of reasoning, and that it is a filthy, deviant state of mind. In 1998, he stated that, quote, the gods' first target of annihilation would be homosexuals.
Jesus Christ. Like, tell us you're gay without telling us you're gay. But also, he's like, no homo, no homo.
Honestly, it
What
seems
the
often the
fuck?
people who are so
Yes.
violently
gayest.
opposed to, homosexuality are,
He's so upset that he's never, ever been able to wear those sparkly shoes.
yeah. He and the rest of the religion believe that each ethnicity will have its own heaven, but multi-ethnic children go to hell, or
What?
I don't know what their hell is. I didn't look into that deeply. Like, we all go to white heaven, all the good black people go to black heaven, etc. But if your mom was dad and your mom was dad, your white was black, you know what I'm saying? You don't get
Yep.
to go.
Great.
Straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to hell.
What the
Oh
fuck?
my god. Yes. You guys, she's referring to Parks and Rec.
Uh-huh.
Seeing if you don't know, you should find out. So that's, he calls children of multi-ethnicities, quote, a chaotic situation brought about by mankind.
All children are chaos.
Yeah. Like this have you looked around this place? It's all chaos. That was so like atheist of me, man. But you know.
Unsubscribe.
He claims that the world is in the Dharma ending period, which is seen as the age of moral decline in Buddhist texts. A lot of buzzwords. You guys feel me? He says that his followers are in a time of cosmic transition and renewal, and the persecution by the Chinese government is seen as a symptom of moral decay. However, he does not predict an
Apocalyptic?
but that ending for the world. So I guess that's cool.
That's something, I guess.
I guess.
The world's not ending, but
But it is in moral decay, and you're fucked. In the 90s, he claimed that aliens were behind any technological advancements. And I don't know. Hey,
Listen. I understand because
I'm not
I
saying
think
it's a total no.
Yeah. I mean, I think most men are like not the best. So hot take, right?
Like,
But
we have so much going on, dude. He's like claiming that aliens disguise themselves as human in order to corrupt and manipulate, which I'm sure you guys know that like correlates with reptilians, right?
oh yeah, the reptile people.
Like, that's fully reptile people. So now they're here as well. The reptiles are here.
That's why the planet is warming.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Like
is-
it all makes sense
Bro,
if
that
you
is
just
like a really hot point. Pun not even intended.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. I was like, ooh, that slapped, girl. You didn't
Yeah.
even try. Yeah.
Hey, listen, not just a hat rack, okay? Pointing at her head.
You guys get it? You get
For
it?
you guys listening.
The Chinese government labels FG as an anti-society cult that leads followers to self-mutilation, suicide, and murder. The Chinese embassy often issues warnings to Americans against seeing the Shen-yun productions. One warning stated, in addition to their tacky taste and low artistic standards, which has been
That's how you
confirmed.
warn off Americans. They're like, don't talk about like genocide or the stealing of organs like wholesale. Tell them it's tacky.
Oh, low artistic standards.
Oh, I couldn't
It's
possibly.
tacky. Ooh.
And they said that the performances were filled with cult messages and implied attacks against the Chinese government. Chinese embassies worldwide are trying to shut down performances by contacting the theaters that are holding them. Shen-yun claims the Chinese government is trying to silence them by tampering with their tour vehicles. They also claim Chinese spies listen to their phone calls and photograph their movements. I mean,
I'm not going to say you're wrong, but it's entirely possible that you're wrong. I mean, it's a lot.
but I mean, the Chinese government like really has been murdering them and stuff.
That's why I was like, I mean, you're not wrong.
Right. So it's like,
Well, okay, two things can be true. They can be stealing the organs of detainees, but also not have someone following their tour vehicles over here stateside.
okay, I like your thinking here. Broad mind. That's good. Cult expert Rick Allen Ross has spent more than 10 years working with former FG members and their families. So if that doesn't say cult, then I don't know what does. He refers to Shen-yun as a cash cow, as Lee generates an enormous amount of money from these performances. Like I said, $60 to $100. $80 to $160 for tickets. Performers do get paid, but it's a very low amount. And the other people who are on the tour work as, quote, volunteers. So I think that would be called labor trafficking.
You
Yep,
should just
yep.
be honored to be here. The fact that we like give a shit about you, like that should be all.
You're welcome that
need.
we're letting you sit with us.
Yeah. We wear pink on Wednesdays, by the way.
And we worship Master Lee every day.
Every day.
Ross says, quote, they are essentially devoted to him, devoted to believing in him, believing in his claims about his spiritual, unique superiority. So they give their lives to who they call Master Lee. Samuel Luo sent a letter to the San Francisco Sentinel in 2006 claiming that the group was a cult and that his parents refused life-saving medical treatment because they were brainwashed into believing Lee.
No.
God damn it.
No.
That's not cool when they do that, right? Like when
No.
they say you can't have medicine and then they murder people. He also states that the International Cultic Studies Association put together a program on FG and the group threatened a lawsuit and were successful in stopping the presentation. So I feel like when you are going out of your way to stop people even like asking questions or like, and you're really out there trying to control the information, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
That's that TikTok challenge. Like, tell me that you're in a cult without telling me you're a cult.
I just picture the red flag guy just like
yes.
running
Oh,
around.
Ashley, you would love Red
oh wait,
Flag
I think
Guy.
I've seen him.
Oh
Maybe
my
somebody
God.
put him on Reels or something.
Oh, he's definitely on Reels. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably where I saw him. Ross states that FG fits the three core characteristics of a cult: an authoritarian leader with no meaningful accountability who becomes an object of worship.
Uh-huh.
The group uses identifiable coercive persuasion, thought reform, and influence techniques to gain undue influence over the people in the group. And the group does harm and is destructive, using undue influence to exploit and cause harm to people. Ross has received numerous complaints from family, including family estrangement, social isolation, lack of communication, followers not taking medication or going to a doctor when needed. And there's a full lack of financial transparency when it comes to profits and performers' salaries. It's like, oh, they're getting paid a penny an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So if that all didn't scare you guys, this should.
Okay, great. I can't wait. Seriously, show me so that I can get this over with.
Like, seriously, I can't wait. Bring it. In addition to Shen-yun, FG has a number of other organizations that it operates, including the Epoch Media Group, or Epoch, EPOCH. They also run the New Tang Dynasty Television and the Epoch Times newspaper, Sound of Hope Radio, and the Racklin Media Group. The Epoch Times was founded in 2000, with the founders claiming to be fighting the censorship inside China and the world's lack of understanding about the Chinese government's repression of FG. So it's really sad, because all of these people who are falling for the FG are either getting fucked over by
Their leader.
Yeah.
and being in a cult, or by the Chinese government being like, all right, well, you come back here and we'll round you up and fucking harvest your organs, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's like a lose-lose situation either way. It's really shitty.
I don't want either of those things. I just, like,
No.
on the record, I just want to say right now, I don't want any of that.
I like my organs kind of where they are.
By 2003, the Epoch Times had grown into one of the largest Chinese newspapers outside of China. Racklin Media Group is the PR firm for FG, run by Gail Racklin, who is the spokesperson for the Falun-gong Information Center. They're trying to keep you so confused.
And it's working. I gotta say.
Yeah, you're like, who? What? The Epoch Times and other media organizations that they own are known for being far right and promote conspiracy theories and misinformations.
QAnon.
Oh my God, how'd you know that was literally the first thing on my list? Yeah, they promoted QAnon. They promote anti-vax misinformation. Big supporters of Donald Trump.
Awesome.
They think that he's some sort of messiah who's going to bring an end to the Chinese Communist Party.
What is this? Some mother god shit? Like,
I wonder if there's like a Donald Trump segment in the Shen-yun where they just come out wearing Donald Trump shirts and then they like scurry off stage.
They all have giant orange heads on.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just dressed up like pumpkins with a wig.
Well, you guys, I was like, what the fuck are they doing coming to Cheyenne, Colorado Springs, and Denver? These are very white Republican areas. Denver, not so much, but Cheyenne, Colorado Springs, these are pretty red, white populations. So I was like, who's going to see these shows? But apparently a lot of people who are into the same shit like them, like, you know, false election claims. Oh, you know. And just,
If your brain is already mashed potatoes, you don't really care who's pouring the Bago bits on top of them. Is that, I don't even know if that's a good analogy or not, but like.
Who?
I just heard bacon.
You know, they were also into, you know, Pizzagate and chemtrails and just all kinds of.
What do they think about 5G?
I don't even know about.
Oh, Ashley, I've just opened up a whole new world for you.
I have 5G on my phone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you better go figure out what it's doing to you. That's one of them. You got to go find you some 5G conspiracies, girl.
Oh, it's according to these peeps.
Oh, yeah.
These guys.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, well, it's in my pocket right now. Uh-oh. A German broadcaster, Stephanie Albrecht, spent several days at the Berlin office and observed the staff was all FG followers who were not journalists and did not fact check, but trusted alternative sources. And the Epoch Times also publishes climate change denial content, just like all the really good shit, even though they claim to be neutral, independent, and public interest oriented.
I mean, you can be neutral, but also incorrect.
Yeah. So this is fun. Sources of revenue are, like I said, unclear, but recent records show that Rev is thriving under the Trump era. Scholar James R. Lewis found in 2018 that FG followers have attempted to control English Wikipedia articles concerning the group. Control of these pages affects the group's SEO, search engine optimization, and these entries can influence other media, which is their overall media strategy.
Well, it didn't work.
Well, it's actually, unless you type like cult afterwards, it's kind of hard to.
Unless you know what to look for.
Yeah, you find stuff on both sides because people are like, dude, they're getting murdered in China. And it's like really fucked. And it's like, well, it is, but it's also the cult they're in is also fucked. Lewis also states that Amnesty International doesn't verify reports from FG groups and accept any of their material as fact. He concludes, quote, FG has been able to influence other media via its presence on the web through its direct press releases and through its own media. The Epoch Times is published in 21 languages and 33 countries. As of 2021, the Epoch Times is the 7th most followed account on Gab, which is a far-right leaning social networking site.
Oh, that's why I haven't heard of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's just like
I'm familiar with the Epoch Times. I'm familiar with that name.
Yeah, I am too.
Shen-yun's been all around you. Falun Gong for all this time. You didn't even know.
I am learning so much.
So ads have actually been banned by Facebook. No, that can't be true.
It has to be because I've never seen one on Facebook.
No, but it says also YouTube as of August 2019. I've seen them on YouTube several times.
They have content, but not ads.
Well, and they can change how they present themselves
That's
too,
true.
depending on what kind of category they want to list themselves under. That's how a lot of political advertisers are getting around people's blockings of that type of content is by changing their affiliation listing.
Oh my goodness.
Think about it, Ashley, because even like with Spreaker for hosting, that's how they get around a lot of the footholds and different things that are in place so that podcasters aren't advertising things that they don't want their show to be represented as being behind.
Occasionally, you guys, if something negative that does not align with the show's values slips in, it wasn't our choice. Just know that.
No, it's them being sneaky little snakes.
And here's something to look out for. Snopes found links between the Epoch Times and a large Facebook network called the BL, Beauty of Life. And these pages used more than 300 fake profiles impersonating Americans to spread pro-Trump posts and conspiracy theories such as QAnon.
Come on.
Oh my God.
We have enough problems over here, okay?
I know, like, leave us alone.
Nobody got time for that.
Social media platform SafeChat was reported in 2021 to have close ties to the Epoch Times and FG as well. So SafeChat, not so safe, you guys. BL, Beauty of Life. It's Shen-yun, Epoch Times, the fucking new Tang. It's a stay away. Just check your sources.
Beauty of Life legitimately sounds like an MLM cult. It sounds like people that are pushing scented oil lipstick and also Jesus.
And Jesus.
Jesus wants you to have moist lips. That's why you should buy this lip gloss.
And they should smell like lavender.
You need to smell and look pretty with Jesus.
Jesus. Well, you guys, wildly, that's all I have for you.
Oh my God. I can't believe it's over. I feel like there's so much. There's still so much. I have so many questions.
It's been such a wild ride.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We went on so many twists and turns that I was not expecting.
We've had a chat going on about this for like months, about how we see these ads everywhere. And I was like, you guys, I'm going to do an episode, get in on this. And did you have any fucking clue what was about
No.
to be laying at your
Not at all.
door?
No, I thought there was going to be some sort of like maybe money scandal thing on the back end,
Yeah.
but like was not expecting organ harvesting and concentration camps. And it was just like
Far
whoa.
right-wing conspiracy bullshit dressed up as...
It's like the full breadth of like everything that scares me about the world today. And it's like,
And the internet.
yeah, you could be kidnapped and someone will steal your organs, and which is supposed to be like an urban legend type thing. It's real now again. Also,
I hate
just
the world today.
I really do. I really do.
You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Come on, here we go. I don't even think I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint.
Do not feel
Do not
ashamed.
feel ashamed.
Yeah. she's like, just skip forward. Just bitch.
Well,
nailed it.
Falun Gong and all affiliated groups with Lee Hongxing can suck it. Yeah.
Suck it.
He sucks. So
Yeah, they're worse than Nickelback.
Look at this photograph.
Something about those two songs is like inexplicably tied in my head. And I'm like, listen, Nickelback really isn't that bad. But I feel like for some people, they have very strong feelings.
speaking of Nickelback, you guys join our Discord, both of you and everybody listening. Okay, go to tsfu-podcast.com. That's where you can find a link to our Discord, our bingo, Patreon, social media, all that jazz, because we have an exclusive channel called Random Fandom where we primarily talk about Crocs and Nickelback.
Fuck me.
Yeah, you need to get in there. And if you just need to like waste some time, get up in there. I'm giving you consent. Get all up in there. You guys, it's like the safest, one of the most fun places on the internet. Come
No,
check
I'm
it
pretty
out.
sure I already am there, Ash.
Well, I haven't seen you, so
I know. Well, I'm busy lurking
Yeah.
on Reddit.
it's a scary place to post. They're intense there. They get pretty intense
They
on
are
you.
very intense.
Yeah.
Whoa, let's settle down, everybody.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at, I'm like, oh boy, that person has been downvoted more times than I have in total lifetime karma. I feel like I'm not qualified to engage in this conversation.
Sometimes people say wild ass shit on there,
They
though.
really do.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I occasionally will let out a little bit of rage in a Reddit thread
You got to do
or
it.
comment section somewhere when people are just saying really stupid shit. I can't deal.
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot of times it goes from 0 to 1,000.
And then I take it up to 1001 because I'm like, you know what? I might be the person you're referring to. Somebody makes one comment and I'm like, I will murder your soul. Okay. Like, how
Well-
dare you talk about Britney like that? No, it's usually about much more like intense
I was
subjects.
going to say, Ash, I feel like by and large, I just trust your judgment. So, like, if you want to murder their soul, I just feel like, what did they do to deserve that? You know what I mean?
They fucked around and found out is what they did.
Yeah, they sure did.
You guys, where can everybody go listen to your shows?
You can listen to Yield Crime wherever you listen to That's So Fucked Up and Pacific Northwest Haunts and Homicides, or PNW. You know, I just like to be bougie and just say the whole thing. So, yeah. And you can find us at yieldcrimepodcast.com. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, begrudgingly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. And Ye Old Crime, I realize they all end with E's, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Remember the 3 E's, and then you'll find us.
And Caitlyn, where can they find you?
Yeah, we are on entirely too many socials, platforms. It's a problem, actually. I will never refer to it as X, but we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, We're on Threads. We're probably literally everywhere that you are, and then maybe some places that you're not, which that sounds exhausting, doesn't it? And we're on, I think, pretty much all of the major hosting platforms for podcasts, Amazon, Apple, Spotify. We're on some that now no longer exist. I feel like now that's how I know we've been doing this for a minute, is that like, oh,
You're like, oh, that one's not around anymore.
I should probably take it off our link
There's
tree.
a couple that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Google Podcasts has really failed me by dying. It was really rude. So you guys, make sure you go listen to their podcasts, support indie podcasts. Obviously, you like our content, which is, not super heavy and intense. We all bring a bit of humor. And hey, this is the first month we're doing this. So, oh my goodness. Y'all, we put out a lot of content, like a lot of content. So we are actually partly to kind of decongest the regular feed a little bit. We are going to start putting the second 2 episodes of That's So Fucked Up Presents of the month on the Patreon feed. So this month you got to hear about Project Modern Day Night and Shen-Yun. We've also got Mr. Money Mustache coming up. What the fuck is that, right? Yeah, you'll find out. And Kundalini, you're like, I thought I took a Kundalini yoga class. Maybe you did. It's a cult. What's up? So those are going to be on the Patreon. You can join us for as little as $5 a month at patreon.com/TSFU. You also get access to our exclusive episodes, which are monthly. Ash learns the Bible. I learn about the Bible. It's fun. And ad-free, early, swag, all kinds of stuff. So
honestly, it's a bargain at any price.
It's just get over there. Check it out. And there's a free version too if you don't want to commit right away. So thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next time. What? Yeah,
we will see you later, or we will see you another time.
Bye. Half of the time.
Bye.
Always. Goodbye.
Totes my goats, Jobin.
Always.
That's so fucked up, that's so fucked up. So fucked up, that's so fucked up.